Hello everyone, welcome to History with Irfan YouTube channel, and in this video I am gonna talk about the Second World War European theater. This is part 3. So in this video we will talk about the Operation Barbarossa and also about some of the major events take placing in 1941 and also in 1942. So without wasting any more time, let's get started. So on June 22nd, Hitler launched Operation Barbarossa. But before that, we have to discuss that what were the invasion armies, means how many invasion armies are there and who was commanded by whom. So the first army group, which was the Army Group North, was commanded by Wilhelm von Lieb, which main objective was to go towards north, towards Leningrad, when they will join when a Finnish, not as an Axis member but an collaborator. So after that, the Army Group Center, which main objective was to go towards Moscow, the capital of Soviet Union at that time. So Hitler thinks that if he captured Moscow means very earlier, then he could capture Stalin and then end the war very quickly. So after that, the last army group, which was Army Group South, which was commanded by Erwin, which their objective was to go towards Stalingrad, means around the Volga River, and to cut off the Caucasus to get the oil from the oil refineries, the Soviet Azerbaijan, and also to get the Caucasus. There also the Caucasus, which was very rich in oil. So after that, in just 6 months, Hitler was in the gates of Moscow in around December, because it was launched in June, and around 6 months later on December he was on the gates of Moscow. But because of the harsh conditions in Russia, the winter in Russia was very cold and was going into in minus Celsius, so it was very cold there at that time. So it was impossible to attack. So in that time, the Soviets counterattack and then pushed the Germans far from Moscow. So after that, Hitler still believed that he can still win the war in 1942. So he started preparing for the summer offensive, which its main objective was to go towards Stalingrad and the Caucasus. As I said, that the Z von Rundstelt, their main objective, was then put in motion in 1942. But meanwhile, in Hawaii on December 7th, Japan launched a surprise attack on Pearl Harbor and Honolulu, Hawaii, which the Americans' ships were there, where they launched a surprise attack and sunk many ships. So, and because of this, on December 10th, Germany and Italy declared war on USA, because they signed the Tripartite Pact, and so if someone declares war on either three of them, they will declare on them, means they will declare on whoever has declared war in one of the Axis members, as because of the Tripartite Pact, as I said. So, and then on December 10th, the Americans joined the Allies and then officially joined the war in Europe and also in Pacific. But it will take time for their deployment in Europe, because they were mostly focusing at Pacific at that time. So during 1942, mostly in Pacific. So after that, the Germans launched a summer offensive, which was put them full blow on June 28, which they cut the Soviets off guard, because the Soviets were not prepared at 1941 and they were also not fully prepared in 1942. So so they quickly advanced towards the city of Stalingrad, and where they fight a house to house, means they fight from one house to another house, where because the Soviets, as Soviet leader Joseph Stalin gave passed the order 227, where no one can put his foot backwards, or he will be interpreted for the motherland, which the communists say, and while the fascists said their country as a fatherland or fatherland. In so the Germans was means around November, the Germans has around 90% control of the city, and I forgot to say that it was launched on June 28. So where the Army Group B, which was stationed along the Volga River to protect the Army Group A flank, which was advancing towards the oil fields at the Caucasus, but they weren't able to capture Baku because of the range of the fighters, because the fighters can reach Baku because the Baku was far from the airfields they have. So the plan to go towards Baku was scrapped and means cancelled. So but Hitler made a mistake that he only put Army Group B and the Panzer divisions go towards to take the oils at Baku, and take the oil at Caucasus, and because of this, the Army Group B was only protecting lonely. So because of this, the Hitler want to go towards Baku because the reason was that the oil production of the Soviets, apart from the lend-lease the Americans, means the Allies give them, around 80-90% of the oil which the Soviets produce come from the Caucasus and the Soviet Azerbaijan, means Baku. So because of this, Hitler want to go towards Baku, but unfortunately for Hitler, as I said, that Stalin passed the order 227 because Stalingrad, which the first word Stalin came from his name, like Joseph Stalin is his name, so Stalin came from his name, so he doesn't want to fall Hitler in the city Stalingrad to fall into Hitler's hand, and which will be a decisive blow, not because of he was because of the oil, but because of the city's name which came from his title, Joseph Stalin. So on the African front, General Erwin Rommel, which I said that he was sent to Africa to aid the Italians, to so the army, his army, means the combined forces of the Germans and the Italians, was defeated at the Second Battle of Alamein, where they were defeated because of the overwhelming Allies forces, and also because the Americans were now now focusing also on Europe, so they launched Operation Torch, which they landed on North Africa, which was controlled by Vichy France on 8th of November, and they advanced quickly towards Libya, and because of this, the Germans and the Italians evacuated from Africa, and the North Africa campaign came to an end. Then the Allies started to prepare for invading Sicily because they thought that they all said that the Italians were in soft underbelly, which they were very not very effective during the war because of the propaganda. There was the generals of the Italians didn't trust each other, and there was so politics in the Italian armed forces, and because of this they were very ineffective throughout the whole war, and they also planned to invade the German occupied France. So after that, on November, the Germans and the Italians annexed Vichy because of its incapability to defend its colonies. So on the eastern front of the war, the Soviets were now attacking the Army Group Center, which they were attacked at the Battle of Rhezhev, where the Soviets failed to destroy the Army Group Center and were counterattacked by Germans. But fortunately for Hitler, this time on the third Battle of Kharkov, if it doesn't know Kharkov, it is a city on now in Ukraine, I think. So General Erwin von Manstein counterattacked the Soviets, which is known as the Manstein's miracle, where they counterattacked the Soviets and Soviets got more casualties than the Germans. So after that, Hitler knew that he cannot win a two-front war. So he started to plan for a decisive blow to the Soviets, but unfortunately for Hitler, the German codes, the radio which German high command give orders to all the armies and the navy and air force, which was known as Enigma, was already decrypted by the British. They already knew what the Germans were planning for, so they launched Operation Husky, which was the Allied invasion of Sicily on the night of 9th and 9th and 10th, because so that the Soviets doesn't have all the pressure. So Hitler cancelled the major offensive at Kursk and drive some troops away from there towards Italy to defend its ally. It took around 1 month to get control over Sicily. And so on the 5th of July, when the Germans launched the attack on Kursk, Hitler was cancelled it again, but because of the Allies' landings in Sicily, as I said, and seeing this opportunity, Soviets launched their offensive on Kursk on the 12th of July, where the Germans were pushed back and lost so many troops at that, which was very crucial at that time. They were running very low on manpower, and also their factories were continuously bombed by the Allies. So because of these casualties they faced in the Eastern Front. So that's it for today's, guys. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell, and also leave a comment for any suggestions and if improve my videos and stuff. So make sure to follow us on Instagram, subscribe to our channel, and also like the video. And I will meet you on the fourth part of this video, when we will talk about the 1944 events and also about the invasion of Italy in some details, and also the Allied invasion of Normandy in France. So till then, bye bye.